anti-YNs. YNs like to wear the little ski mask. I designed this logo myself. I felt like it really represents what Just Inspire is all about. Anti the ski mask, right? Because we're gentlemen scholars, and a gentleman would never come out of his house in something as terrible and tacky as that. Also, like Pusha T, I don't like rappers that don't rap. I can't stand any of that. That whole YN street culture is an abomination. It's trash and it needs to go. And on this side, like on the back of the t-shirt, these two QR codes on the back of the t-shirt are links to our website and to our YouTube page, places we want you to go. And we want you to encourage other people to go too. Because there's a lot of great stuff going to be happening at JustInspire Mentoring online at Hub that we want you to be a part of. But reason why I called, I'm sitting outside, it's a nice night, wanted to give you some tips. I thought about things that I would just tell myself, if I was 18. Here's one that I always got to tell you guys. If I was 18 right now, do not get a girlfriend. I wouldn't even look at females. You see, looking back at it, especially a man like myself who's put myself in so many positions and had so many opportunities, when you're chasing girls, that's valuable time that you could be chasing your dream. You could be building that business. You could be growing that idea that you think about that you don't want to tell nobody because you think we're just going to laugh at you. You could be using that time to do that, but instead you chasing this girl. And the idea of men chasing women is so stupid when there's so much more women than men. You shouldn't be chasing. It's like supply and demand backwards. Demanding supply. It's crazy. Right? So, and I'm not saying this to be some He-Man woman hater, because I love women. I will say I'm proud of myself. I believe I have what you call control over the flesh. Like a woman can walk past me right now. It don't matter what she's wearing. I'm talking to you right now, so I'm not going to look. But I'll be honest. I feel like 95% of my friends, guys, they can't say the same thing. They're going to look because they don't have that control. Cody, what's up, brother? My man. That reminds me. Shout out to Melvin. I told you I was going to shout you out next time I made some content. It's been a lot going on, man, trying to grow this brand. Rich, what's up, brother? Joe, I see you. What's up, Joe? I see you. Stars, I see you too. What up, what up, what up? What's going on? Should you quit? I mean, if you already in a relationship, I'm definitely not going to tell you that. Mason, what's going on? I'm a bozo. Somebody had to do it, huh? I guess. Hey, Riley. No, I'm just giving advice, guys, for what I would tell myself when I was 18. And I'm just being honest. Looking back at it, I know I spent so much time in the wrong things. And a lot of us, as you get older, when you look at life and you start contemplating your situation, honestly, that's where that time went. That's where that time went. Like this whole Just Inspire thing that we're on, and I'm proud of y'all for coming on this with me. I could have done this 10 years ago, which means we could be so further along on the phase right now. But my mind was elsewhere. And while I'm telling you this, don't start to worry or feel guilty. It's okay. That's all part of the experience. Star, what's popping? Roblox. Hold on, you playing Roblox? I never played that game. On the contrary, you are funny. Oh man, why do some of y'all like to get on the internet and just offend people? I think that's so interesting. With your kids this weekend, I'm at the pass. I'm sorry, I'm at the pass. Right now, guys, it's probably about 11:50. It's almost midnight. Yo, thank you, Daniel. Love you too. Means a lot. Means a lot. But yeah, guys, don't focus on the young ladies right now. Focus on yourself. And honestly, it's only a short period of time. I'm saying by the time you're 22, 23, if you weren't focused on that, your goals, you can complete them. Think about when we go to college, how much time we spend in college. You go to class, but what happens the first thing you got out of class? What did you do? You went with your friends and then y'all were on your missions. Those missions were not to get jobs, those missions were to get girls. Those missions weren't to start that business, they were to get girls. Do I have a religion? I I'll be honest with you guys. That's a good question. I was definitely born a Christian. I had a christening. I most of my life I went to an AME Zion church, St. Mary's, proudly. But I will say as I got older, I started to explore religion more. I have a lot of love for all the faiths, and I think a truly spiritual person can connect regardless. All right. And the meaning of the hat again, yes. This is the stop sign for being anti ski mask or the YNs. As a matter of fact, I had some young men in my office today and they were asking me, "You don't like YNs?" I was like, well, it's not that I don't like YNs. Just Inspire Mentoring is about creating gentlemen scholars. And so that's why we have the anti YN, the anti ski mask, because a YN can't be a gentleman. Excuse me, a gentleman would never be a YN. A YN could get changed and become a gentleman. They are very bad. It's a very bad culture. It's very bad music. It's very bad behavior. It's just disrespect all around. There's nothing positive about this. Anybody that wakes up in the morning and puts a ski mask on and goes out isn't living right, ain't thinking right. When I was growing up, a ski mask was for people that were doing robberies, criminals. So why would you want to copy criminal behavior? Because you're not thinking right. That's ignorance. Oh, I could never be a YN. Absolutely not. Listen, I'm from Jamaica, Southside Queens, but I'm one of the toughest kids out, all right? I was never in no gangs. I ain't do none of that stuff. I was always the one I was like, no, no, thank you. Okay? A lot of people follow, and they fell in those traps. That's why I do Just Inspire Mentoring, because I can show you how to be a leader, because I've been leading my whole life. All right. Mason, until next time, brother. You have a good night. All right. But let's talk more about this hat. All right. And also, you guys know I DJ. I'm a big hip hop fan, all right? And I love lyricism, lyrics. That's why I don't like rappers that don't rap. I appreciate you, Star. Thank you so much for the subscription. And Liam, if you're 16, you're on the right account, brother. Let me know how I can be of more service to you. Please. Because that's the perfect age. Did you guys know if you guys are 15, 16, you teenagers, you have the whole world in your hand. You can do anything. You just have to focus. You just have to focus. Think out your plan. That's all it takes. But guys, I'm actually about to log off myself because I need to get some rest. I'm gonna be DJing tomorrow at a CCBC, Catonsville. I like to do a little YN. Ugh. It means it's the N word for black people, but young. I didn't make it up. I don't think it should have been created. But I actually learned this term in January. I teach communications, and my students were they informed me that that was the new term because I didn't know. So Liam, that's a good question. You got me to talk a little longer. What you should know to help you grow as a young person, all the information you need is all around you. You need people that you can confide in. You need people that can promote the greatness in you. And you need to read for yourself also. A great book to read is Think and Grow Rich. As soon as we get a little bit more organized and get a little bit more together, that's something I want to do. I want to have a book club. Let's read and talk about that book, Think and Grow Rich. I'll be honest, I didn't read it till my late 20s, but that's why I do this work. You got me so that you can know that at a younger age. All right? Think and Grow Rich. It's an amazing read, and it'll help change your mind on how you think about life and business, which is essential for you having happiness, I believe. All right. You guys got any more questions for me? Gen Z is a little crazy. But at this point, I feel like who isn't, right? There's so much going on. Yeah. Well, if you guys don't have any more questions for me, I originally just kind of wanted to give that advice about if I was 18, I would tell myself to wait a little bit on dating, focus on myself. So I'm just going to reiterate that one more time. It's not that I have an issue with relationships. I just think that at a young age, especially a young man, you have such lavish goals to be a leader, to be a provider for a household. You should focus on yourself first and grow into that man and then take on a partner. Alex, this is not the place for that. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy. I will tell you this. I think people are too focused on things like that. That doesn't help us. I'm going to tell you the same thing. That doesn't help us. Knowing that list, following that trial, none of that would have helped you be a better person. So that I'm gonna put that up there with the girlfriend thing. I said, focus on yourself first. If you have time to look and follow those things, you have a privilege, I believe. I can't. I couldn't afford that. I wouldn't have made this if I was watching them trials. You know what I mean? The time it took me to come up with these concepts, designs, that's the time that people are watching the Diddy trial on YouTube, worrying about conspiracies. We have to we gotta always focus. That's the biggest key. I used to go to church. Um, I go. I haven't went in a while. I'm thinking about making some stops soon. You want to invite me to a church, Alex? Thank you, Dana. I appreciate that. Star, those are touching words. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I don't think people realize how much we all need to be reminded, because you never know. Sometimes I could be in my own head right now. We never see what's going on inside of people. So I want to say thank you so much for taking that time and letting me know how much you appreciate what I'm doing. Okay, well, Alex, I'll tell you something. I agree. This is definitely a great time to return to faith, but you can pick up a Bible, man, and you can start reading, and you can have church right now, right? You could pick up that Bible, put a quote into the chat. We can talk about it. That's church. Remember, it says so in the good book. The temple is the body. We are the church. Okay? We can come together and go to a building, sure, but don't get it twisted. You do not have to be in a church to find God. In fact, I'll tell you what I think is a little dark secret. I think the greatest place to find God is usually in dark places. You want to know why? Because in the darkness, it's the easiest to find light. It's right there. Oh, it's all right if you messed up temple. You can try again. God forgives. That's why we have to learn to as well, because that's the God in us. It also tells you in the book, right? God created us in His image. If He created us in His image, that means that we need to act like it. When you look in the mirror, see God. And if you see God, act like God. That's right. Man, I'm not gonna lie. This is nice. I really feel like we're just sitting here having a great conversation. Yeah. Exactly. You attract love, and I support that. Me too. Thank you. Are you saying that to me? Yes. That's that's usually what light is. Bleeding heart. I just want to help people, and I want to see us all win. I believe we have to get back to that community mindset. I was telling some young men today, two men in this world want the best for you. Your father and me. We're the only men that you're gonna meet that want you to be better than us. Most men are jealous, not me, and not your father. I want you to be better than me. You have all the potential in the world. I want to be on the sidelines. I want to be rooting and cheering for you. Oh, before Jesus Christ, was our sins not forgiven? No, they weren't. Sins were not forgiven that way. Remember? You people get stoned and all that. Yeah, that's how they used to deal with sins. with sin back in the day. Eye for an eye, take your eye, right? That's how it used to be. Now, I will say this because I actually had a conversation with a man the other day who I believe he read that the wrong way. Just because Jesus died for our sins doesn't mean that you go out and do wrong. Remember that. Always try to do your best. Do that in all things. Move purposely and give grace, and grace will be given to you. All right. Back in the days, yes. In the old days, it was for life. But if you believe in that, Jesus died for our sins, so that doesn't have to be like that anymore. But again, that doesn't stop you from being your best. All right. And I believe if you always try to be your best, you will avoid sin. Okay. And yes, I agree. Grace is powerful. And it's the hardest thing to do. But it can be done. It just takes time and practice. Like anything else. And you give grace for yourself. A lot of times we don't want to give grace because we feel like we letting somebody get a pass. No, you're not letting nobody get a pass. You getting that off your shoulders. Because when you don't give grace, that means you're holding a grudge, you're holding beef, and that's stressful. And that stuff gives you cancer. That's why you can't hold on to grudges. No, I don't have no beef. I don't have no problems with nobody. I'm fine. And so are they. Yes, Alex, I believe the devil was incredibly pissed off when Jesus did that. He sure did. I believe he tried all he could to stop him. But that's why he's Jesus, right? But the devil is active today, especially in the world we live in today. You have to be careful. That's why you have to have your own standards and you can't compromise them. I learned that in the military. You know, I was a lieutenant in the U.S. Army National Guard, L.T. Tucker. I went to OCS at Fort Benning, and that's the motto of the school. Standards, no compromise. That means wherever you go, wherever you do, whoever's watching, right is right, and that's what you're going to do. We got a standard that can't be compromised. All right. You guys have any more questions? I think I'm gonna call it a night, though. I need to do these more often. I see, huh? I'm really surprised at all the feedback I got. I thought this was gonna be a quick 5 minute thing. Yes, you can pray for Justin. Pray for Justin. Thank you, Dana. Hey, hey, hey. What's up, Joe? I'm trying to read your picture there. Grow a garden. Okay. All right, Dana, I appreciate that. And guys, if you don't have any more questions, I'm gonna log off. Going once, going twice. Yes, Alex, it's a true honor. Let's talk some more. All right, guys. You all have a good night. Love you too.